Do 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 do. Come on. Do 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 do. Stand if you want to. Do 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 do. Wonder Woman in her satin pants, wearing leggings. I always mix that up. Do 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 do. Come on. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Wonder Woman! Yeah! I'm really Maxine. I pretend to be Wonder Woman on any given day, but these leggings have got to go. Listen to the words of Wonder Woman. These just cracked me up. The original Wonder Woman. Okay. Do 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 do. We do the do 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 do. Wonder Woman, Wonder Woman. All the world's waiting for you and the power you possess. Oh my goodness. In your satin tights, fighting for your rights. Oh, the red, white, and blue. Okay, I stopped right there. I went, who are they talking about now? Wonder Woman? Wonder Woman? Okay, that's bravado if I ever heard it. Having that much hope in one little woman with satin tights? Really? Oh, we're in trouble. We're in trouble in River City. But then, because this theme today has to do with movies, directing, the directions we're going, behind the scenes, the lovely Deborahs, everybody else, I got to thinking, what movie has brought all of this to my mind and has impressed me? So for these next few minutes, I want to indulge you in one premise, and people have tried not to laugh when I said this, that Wonder Woman, the movie that just came out with Gal Gadot, forgive me if I say her name wrong, she played Diana Prince, and she was that Amazon woman that went out into the world to fight the wrong and bring the right to the world, okay? That whole movie, I was sitting there going, oh, sure, I'll go with my sister-in-law. We'll go watch it and share popcorn. Oh, my goodness. I sat there for over 2 hours, and I realized this story told me things about biblical women. And they went, you don't get out much, do you? That was all built on a myth and all that. I said, I know, Amazon women, daughter of Zeus and all. I'm not into that. Won't even give it the time of day. But I could not help but notice some parallels to women in the Bible who were true Wonder Women. If you're looking for Wonder Women, you don't have to look any further than your Bible. I'm here to tell you. Now, that may not be a new thing for some of you, but, well, I could see it. And this particular Wonder Woman caught my attention because she was Israeli. And I thought, God's talking. She's Israeli, one of the chosen people. You know. So I sat up even more and ate more popcorn just to make sure I didn't miss anything. Okay, on to our next example. God views us women as strong warriors. That was the one thing I got from the Bible. As I saw it in action, I thought to myself, we're not sidekicks. We're not afterthoughts. We were created for man. It is not good that man be alone. I've seen my husband alone on a weekend and come back. That was just last weekend. He was a mess. He was sick. There was no food in the house. Man needs help. Okay? So what did this woman do? She stopped at Wendy's and got chili, of course. Okay. But the fact was that I knew how to drive through Wendy's to save my little corner of the world. Okay. So, now, women, I like to picture it this way. With Eve in the garden, can you imagine God said, I'm going to put you to sleep, Adam. And when you wake up, there's going to be a surprise. And can you take a ribbing? Okay, never mind that. Okay, so sure enough. And I like to think he gave her the name when he woke up and he looked at this helpmate, there's another word I want to share with you that she was given, and I can just see him calling her, what should we call her? Whoa, man. So, I like to think it started that way. I never let my husband forget that. But this woman, like my friend the Wonder Woman in the movie, was not ever thoughtlessly murderous, but she was purely motivated by love, not vengeance. So Eve was created to make a suitable helpmate for Adam. I noticed in Hebrew, now I'm terrible at Hebrew, she was referred to as Ezer Kenegdo. Help me, somebody help me. Okay, it was often used when referring to someone who was noble. It was referred to Eve. It was many, many times referred to God whenever Israel was in trouble and he came to their rescue in battles. Their Ezer came to their rescue. So it most often was a term used when seeking God's help. And from whence does our help come? And here's Adam's Ezer, Eve. I give you Eve. Also, Proverbs 31 gives us a description of a noble woman who can find for her price. I said noble because there's also another version that says a worthy woman who can find. The term noble speaks in military terms. A woman, a wonder woman, has been explained as someone, as I read on, she's like the merchant ships. She bringeth her food from afar. She riseth also while it is night, giveth food to her household, and their task to her maidens. She considers a field and buys it. Okay, what does she do? She hunts and returns. Have you been to the grocery store? Have you been to a grocery store that they redid? Okay, I had Dillon's Marketplace memorized like the back of my hand. One day in their great wisdom, they decided to take out the furniture and put in clothes, which was okay. Now I wear their clothes and eat their food. But I remember that day when you couldn't find anything. And then I kept shopping week after week for an hour every week, finding new places for things, And one day it occurred to me, I have arrived. I am the hunter. I am the returner from the grocery store. Yes, I found everything on my list and didn't have to ask. And now my challenge is I'll go shopping along and I'll see somebody going, I'll go, what are you looking for? Come on, try me. I know where it is. And without blinking an eye, that's aisle 14. Follow me, I'm going that way. I actually found a guy wandering around the baked section, and I said, I know what you're looking for. Wonder Woman knows these things. He said, you do? I said, yeah, you're looking for Italian breadcrumbs. He said, I am. I said, walk this way. He started following me. I said, walk this way. So he did. He got into it. We had a lot of fun at the grocery store. But he was just amazed. How did you know? I said, you just had that I need Italian breadcrumbs look on your face. And so I'm the hunter-gatherer, and I returned. Just like this woman, she considered a field and bought it. She went out, and she actually, like a warrior, hunted and returned. And then it talks about she girdeth her loins with strength. Does that sound like a mealy-mouthed little woman to you? No, that's military talk. Girded her loins with strength, and maketh strong her arms. She perceived her merchandise is profitable. Her lamp goeth not out by night. She layeth her hands to the distaff, and her hands hold the spindle. She stretches out her hand to the poor. There we go. Yea, she reaches forth her hands to the needy. There you go. There's your whole topic right there. So, our woman, our Wonder Woman, hunts and gathers and girds her loins. The wonder of woman is, it's a battle every single day. Right? Okay. So as you dress, you probably didn't think about, I'm going to gird my loins today. I should gird my loins a little more, actually. But anyway, another point I learned from Wonder Woman. Our emotional vulnerability as a woman is our strength, not our weakness. We get accused of being over-emotional. Own that. Own that. Like Mary, who went to Jesus and crying the entire time, washed his feet with the oil, expensive, and her hair. Why, even Jesus himself wept. He gave us that example. Don't be afraid to show those so-called weaknesses. They can be very effective. So good, kind, and loving, emotional reactions to things, what does that do? It drips with compassion, ladies. It's Superwoman's power. I saw it in the movie too. When she would weep, somebody was going to die. She would spin around, jump off a cliff, and she might have had leather and stilettos on, but she was motivated by love. I like that kind of Wonder Woman. In the real world, I don't wear stilettos, okay? She witnessed evil, but she loved the people. And I give you Mary. She knew in her heart that Jesus needed this kind of support, this kind of compassion. He knew it. He knew what was coming. Everybody else was like, why is she spending all that money on that for now? And Jesus actually said, hey, let her do this. Let her do this. So we women need to purify our God-given sensitivity and direct it into proper channels. Fighting against maudlin tears, sentimentality, and praying for holy tears. Tears of love, tears of gratitude, tears for, oh, I could have done so much better than that. I could have. A Wonder Woman is not paralyzed by her emotions. She uses them as a catalyst to take action and defend the weak and the innocent. With emotions, there's more of an ability to empathize and pray on the behalf of others. Specifically, I recently had a dear friend who lost her little Carter Tough grandson. You perhaps have heard about him. They've been trying to support him all over Wichita and Derby. Little Carter Tough went home to be with Jesus. And I looked at the grandmother, and I did not know what to say. So I held her and I hugged her and I cried with her. And I was not ashamed. It's what she needed. Okay, so when we women stand firm in our God-given identity and calling, find out what that is. I'm still looking. Not heeding artificial labels. Okay, you said look different. I took you seriously. Okay? Then I think of one of my biggest Wonder Women heroes of the Bible, Esther. She looked different. She was beautiful. All those beauty treatments. She was prettier than that. She was Jewish. Shh, don't tell anyone I'm Jewish. But that came in handy because, as you know the story, she could have stayed and taken care of the children, taking care of the housework, doing all the womanly things. But it was pressed upon her heart that she had a people to save. They were going to be wiped off the face of the earth. She had to do something for her people, the people that would someday give us Jesus. So I think it's interesting that Esther doesn't ever mention words like God in that whole story. But was he there? Oh, was he there, moving in that story to save his people? And Esther knew that if she went to the king and he didn't hold out his scepter, that she could be put to death. Didn't matter who she was, how pretty she was, didn't matter the relationship to the king. But did it stop her? No, she was a Wonder Woman on a mission. And she went in and she was going to plead for the Jewish people. And what did he do? Held out his scepter to her. She had his ear. She used her womanly Wonder Woman talent to save a whole people. And the rest, we know the rest of that story. Love Esther. Okay. She prioritized, she listened to the Holy Spirit calling her and encourage, okay, the house needs cleaning. I'll get to that. I got to save my people first. So she might have been a loving teacher, a wife, a mother. But right then, she had to do the saving of the people. Okay, our next Wonder Woman is seen as a loving, sensitive warrior. Gal Gadot said in her role as Wonder Woman, she said, I think Wonder Woman is strong and confused, but she can be all of that in a beautiful, God-given way. Here's my other favorite example of a Wonder Woman I must remind you of. It has to do with Abigail. You know the rest of the story. She becomes David's, third wife? But here she is. Imagine this. She's married to Nabal. He was a fool. He was mean. He was cantankerous. But still, Abigail found some way to love him and be his wife and run his household. And now he had lots of sheep. He had, did he have cattle too? He was wealthy. And David's men, as you know, David and his men were out helping make sure and overlook all these flocks and herds to make sure they were safe out there. And it was kind of a custom that they would come in and expect to be paid in food, perhaps lodging, Well, Nabal said, not going to happen. He was just a terrible person. I'm not going to help them. They helped me, so I didn't ask them to. He was just full of contempt for David and his men. Well, that ticked David off. And so here they came, David and his men. We're going to take out Nabal and everybody there. Here we go. Let's get him. What happens? Abigail finds out. Hurries to her home. Get all the food together. We got to meet David and his men. We got to save some lives or we're all going to perish. So here we see the scene where Abigail comes in front of David and his men and says, please forgive my husband. He's a fool. Please forgive him. Please accept all this food from me and take away the punishment of my husband being a terrible fool. Please, please. I can't, it's like, have you ever been there where my husband, he washed his mouth and he can't do a thing with it today? I don't know what he was thinking of. Have you ever been there? Okay, maybe not. But so David is touched by this strong Wonder Woman, Abigail. She's my hero. She really is, because she stood up to him. And guess what? When the news got back to Nabal, he died in a heap. He was just like, boom, at some point. So they said it was a stroke. They said, something happened to him, just boom, dead. King David found out that Abigail was available. Third wife. So he was very impressed with her beauty, her bravery, her Wonder Woman technique. She stood ready to protect the people she loved, the people that she knew better than them needed to hunker down and say, I'm sorry, I'm an idiot. Okay. So I applaud all these wonder women that we have been blessed with in the Bible. Have I left some out? Absolutely. But I challenge you to find more. Okay? And with one last thought, Wonder Woman. Okay, I think I'm going to go see Wonder Woman again. I think I missed some other things I need to share. But I did learn one big thing before I leave and we get on with our Ladies' Day, and that is Wonder Woman loved. And that was her motivation. And love is the only thing that wins. And the song about Wonder Woman, she's the answer. She's who we're looking for. Forget that. Jesus proved the best type of love on that cross. He's really our wonder. And we should never forget that. So, when you hear the song Wonder Woman, think of your own potential. Think of your love that you have and how you can stand up and look different. Okay? Wonder Woman, Wonder Woman, Wonder Woman, Wonder Woman, right here, Wonder Woman. Wonder